Hello. In this video, we're going to solve a problem from algebra, specifically from quadratic equation. Let us first read the problem. What is the set of all solutions to the equation square root of x plus 2 equals minus x? This is a little tricky problem. I'll explain why I mentioned that when we solve this. So let's see what they've given. Square root of x plus 2 equals minus x. Now square both sides, left hand side and the right hand side. So you will get square root of x plus 2 the whole square equals minus x the whole square. So this will become x plus 2, which will be equal to x square. Now let's move all of them to the right hand side and then swap the left hand side and right hand side. So you will get x square minus x minus 2 equals 0. So this is a typical quadratic equation where you can solve this using the formula minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, or you can solve this by factorization, which is pretty straightforward. So how do you solve it by factorization? You have to get the product of two numbers as minus 2 and the addition of those two numbers should give you minus 1. So the numbers would be 2 and 1. When you multiply, you get minus 2, and then when you add, you get minus 1. Perfect. So now we can write this as x minus 2 times x plus 1 equals 0, which gives you x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 1 equals 0. So now you'll get x equals 2 or x equals minus 1. Now you'll be tempted to look at the answer and say, okay, I get x equals 2 or minus 1, so I'm going to pick choice A. That would be wrong. So that's why I said this is a tricky question, because the question starts with a radical square root. Whenever they give a problem with a radical square root symbol, the answer can only be a principal square root of that square root of x plus 2. Let me explain what I mean by that. So now let's say we get the value x equals 2. Now substitute that in that equation. You'll get as 2 plus 2 equals minus 2. So this will give you square root of 4 equals minus 2. So this is wrong according to the concept of principle of square root, which is square root of 4 should always be the principal square root, which is 2, and it cannot be minus 2. So when you say x square equals 9, now x can be plus or minus 3. But when I talk about square root of x square, it can only be a radical or principal square root. And when you say typically they'll give x is greater than 0 or x for all values of x. So in that case, it can have negative value. But if they don't give anything, it means only the principal square root. From that notation, when x equals 2, the equation doesn't get satisfied because it comes as root 4 equals minus 2. So this is not an answer. Now let's substitute x equals minus 1. That will become minus 1 plus 2 equals minus of minus 1. So square root of 1 equals minus of minus 1 is plus 1. So square root of 1 equals 1. So this is true. So only x equals minus 1. So the choice is B and not A. So that's why I said this is a tricky problem and you have to be very careful, and you need to know the concept called principle of square root when solving a problem which has this radical symbol square root. That's how we solve this problem. See you in the next video. Bye.